Hey all, Hawkeye here. Thanks for tuning in. Where we last left off at mile 600, we're approximately 50 miles from Walker Pass, and that's where I ended my hike last year. And we're about 100 miles from Kennedy Meadows, which is the start of the Sierras. So here we go. We're heading to Walker Pass. One of our water sources was this horse tank. I thought it was kind of cool that it's ideal livestock equipment, which is where I worked right out of high school for a short time in Jefferson, Iowa. So they shipped that stuff all over the country.
Mile 602 on the PCT. We set up early because of the chance of rain. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got water coming in right in here, and it's dripping down this line. I've got this thing here to prop it back so that it runs down and out the screen. Let me know. Now it's coming. Now it's coming in down the string. It's kind of puddling up down there. But I've got some tape, but I'm not sure where to tape it, from the outside or inside or what to do. So that's what I got. Thank you.
Turns out my leaking tent wasn't really bothering me until I got up into Washington, where it rained on me all the time, and the tent leaking became a problem then. But between this mile 600 to up in northern Washington, it wasn't really an issue. But it was kind of bad that it's a Z-Pack duplex, which is pretty pricey, and it just kind of made me angry that it was leaking. A little bit of dry time for the feet. You gotta be sure to take care of your feet while you're out there. That is Ruth in front of me, and I believe Smiles is ahead of her. One of the larger water caches out in this hot part of the hike. We're just kind of skirting the Mojave, so we've been leaving real early in the morning and resting at noon when it's real hot. But these water caches are amazing, and don't know what we do without them. This is one of our early morning starts, just before the sun come up. Nice and cool and pretty peaceful.
Hey, all, Hawkeye here. It's about 10 till 6 or so. Waiting for the sunrise. I haven't seen it yet, but I've been behind the mountains, but this is just beautiful. I hope you can see how awesome that is. And behind me, you can see the sun is hitting that mountain, and back in there is where I just came from. You can kind of see the trail down in here, kind of. But anyway, I like me some morning hiking. Okay, I'll try and get a sunrise if I can. Hawkeye out.
As you can see, the Joshua trees were a lifesaver in the midday. Perfect place to stop and take a break and let the noon sun pass you by a little bit. But usually had a pretty good place to either sit down or lay down, take a little nap or whatever you need to do. This is an old bus that was out in the middle of nowhere. Always wondered, I seen it in 2018 as well, and always wondered how in the world it got there. Didn't really see a whole lot of junk in the desert, but here's an old car. Looked like it'd been burned. One of the mini trail registries that I get to sign. There's a few books out there with the Hawkeye on it. Hey all, Hawkeye here. I'm about 4.8 miles from Walker Pass Campground. That's where I ended my hike last year. This is the last time I was on the trail.
been kind of a emotional day for me. Actually, yesterday was too. Closer I get to it, it's not because that's where I ended my hike. It's because it's kind of the beginning of the end. My time with Dad. Been thinking about him a lot. Wouldn't be out here if it wasn't for Dad. But I know he's with me. Because the night he died, I asked him if he would be. So, sorry. From Walker Pass on is a new adventure for me. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to get into there. We hear that people are going through the Sierras, and I'm gonna give it my best shot. I want to go straight through to Canada, so I'll never get another chance at this. So hang in there with me, and keep up with those thumbs ups and those comments, because they do mean a lot to me. I will talk to you later. Hawkeye out. Buddy Ferris Bueller used to say, you gotta stop and look around every once in a while, or you could miss it. I do believe that that road down there is Walker Pass Campground, if you can see it. That's where I'm heading.
So we get into Walker Pass Campground, and a former PCT hiker, and I believe it was Scarecrow, had this amazing trail magic set up. They had a grill. They even had a little portable oven that they could do breakfast in the mornings, and a swimming pool full of ice and beer and soda and anything else, Gatorade, anything else that you'd want to eat. So while you're there, Twist Off and Snow Peaks was there as well, and someone was there and let us borrow their van. We took the van into a nearby town and found a Walmart and loaded up on some more beers and sodas. So thought that was pretty amazing, and camped there for the evening, and the next day said goodbye to Saskia and Ruth. They were going to skip north of the Sierras and hike north. Ruth was going to go off and do some kind of yoga thing for a month or so, a couple weeks or whatever, but the four of us weren't hiking together again. It was just going to be Smiles and I making our way to Kennedy Meadows. It's great hiking with them. They were good people. So we left Walker Pass Campground, and Smiles and I were making our way to Kennedy Meadows. This is the quarter of the way to Canada marker. There's a little more trail magic. An older gentleman brought the white truck and brought all his tables. He camped there for a few days and provided some trail magic. Here's our first sign of getting to Kennedy Meadows. And there's a little store that you could stay at, or there's Grumpy Bear Retreat is what we ended up staying there. They had pretty much everything you could need to hang out for a few days. Triple Crown Outfitters was she was a Triple Crown hiker way back when. Yogi is her trail name, and she actually even has a couple books out about the hiking thing. So if you want any information, you can buy Yogi's book. But they had a nice outfitters trailer set up to get everybody ready to go into the Sierra.
Hey all, Hawkeye here. Mile 687. Climbed up the last 6 miles. This morning it's about 8:30, I think. This is our first view of the Sierras. I'm not sure which mountains those are or anything. I'll take a little video the other way just so you can see it a little better than in my selfie mode. But yeah, there they are. So we got about another 6 miles down and about 10 miles into Kennedy Meadows. We're not sure. We might just get to the bottom and hang out the rest of the afternoon. But and then go in and tomorrow make a nice easy. It's a nice flat trek into Kennedy Meadows. So that's kind of our plans. But it's early, so we might get down there and say, heck, we might as well go in there. So there's where we're at. I will keep you updated. Hawkeye out.
Got a ride in from the store to Grumpy Bear's in the back of a loaded up pickup. And we did what we always do when we get into a town, is we eat as much as possible. Breakfast in the morning, they have all you can eat pancakes, but when they make them this big, you don't have to have too many. Smiles loved his pancakes. They had plenty of places to camp. This is just a small part of it, but there was probably, oh, I'm guessing maybe 20 or 30 tents there when we got to Grumpy Bear. Kind of hung out for a couple, 2 or 3 days, and just didn't know if we should go into the Sierras right away or not. Hindsight, we probably would have been better off just to keep going and getting into the Sierras, and we might have missed out on some of the heavy river crossings that eventually got us to skip ahead a little bit, but I'll get to that later. Everybody had a resupply here at Grumpy Bear's, or not everybody, but most people either got them here or at the store, but just to get ready, to load up on things you need for the Sierra, like the bear canisters and the ice axes and that kind of stuff people were getting in the mail. But we had to laugh at this guy. He must have ordered a sleeping bag online and turned out to be a double sleeping bag, so I don't know how he would get that into his backpack, but I think he probably just shipped it back. So we all got a chuckle out of it anyway. But anyway, that's what he's doing, loading up his double sleeping bag. So that's it for mile 600 to Kennedy Meadows. From then on, it was Smiles and I heading into the Sierras. Thanks for watching, and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Hawkeye out.